Alrighty, in this video we are working with Creaker again. He's my close to 3-year-old Mustang from, I believe, Palomino Butte in Oregon. I could be wrong. I'm introducing Creaker to a rope today, and kind of like why it's used a little bit. He's had ropes all over his body, but I've never taken like my rope off of my saddle and swung it around him before, so this is a new experience for him. I start off by showing him what it is, and then I start swinging it, and I want to see what his reaction is. If he wants to move, I just kind of let him move. I don't have a very long lead rope right now, which you have to work with what you got when you're doing stuff like that. But there he stops, and he looks at me, so then I just stop swinging it and reward him, like, hey, look, you didn't die, we're okay, nothing bad happened to you. And then he's like, oh, well, what is it again? It didn't bite me. So now he's worked through, like, his fight or flight, and his curiosity is now taking over, and this is where I like him, is he's curious, he's not reacting, and I'm going to show him, like, exactly why we swing that thing around, because the goal one day is to be able to rope off of him. I start my horses to be ranch and pack horses. The goal is for them to be going down to the family cattle ranch and be able to jump into what they do on the ranch and not struggle to learn how to be a ranch horse. Again, I don't get my horses tired before I expose them to something. I like to see their reactions and see how their mind works to what we're doing. Obviously, I am not a professional roper. I'm not a great roper. It's a personal thing that I want to work on. But if I had to rope something on the ranch, I could do it, like, usually by 1 foot, but I could do it. Creaker at this point hadn't been ridden yet, so I was just doing some groundwork stuff with him. That's why I'm kind of focusing on swinging it over his head, because he hasn't been ridden yet, and that's a really important thing, that they are comfortable with the rope being swung over their head. Right now, I'm just kind of getting him used to the tail of the rope touching him all over the place, because that's something that's going to happen when you're roping off of a horse. If you're coiling up, they're going to get touched with the rope. Usually, you want your horse to not have a big explosion if the rope touches their butt or maybe goes underneath their tail. And again, this is just getting him used to the rope touching him all over his body. And he's like a little bit nervous here. You can see he's kind of a little high-headed, but he's not reacting, he's not exploding, and that's good. That's what we want. But he is paying attention to what's happening. He's not so dog-tired or halfway asleep, which sometimes he can do that, where he's not paying attention to what's going on. He is paying attention. He's learning. He's listening. He's taking it all in. I focus a lot on the rope around his feet. That's a pretty common thing that happens when you're coiling up your rope. It touches your horse's feet. You don't want him to be like, oh, there's a snake coming at me. It's just really good practice, and he takes it really, really well. I've seen a few rodeos and the branding pins before with horses getting scared, ropes getting wrapped around, people getting tangled up. So if I can get my horse super comfortable with a rope all over his body and hopefully avoid a rodeo happening, because my horse isn't worried about the rope and can move with me on the rope, that's my main goal for right now. I'm trying to set my horse up for success later in life from the very beginning. I have end goals in mind for what I want out of my horse, and I try to work on those goals a little bit every chance I get, so then the horse can be putting everything together. It can build its confidence. It's been exposed to so many things already, and that is how, in my opinion, you get a good rounded ranch horse. Ranch horses are, I think personally, very underrated in a lot of the horse world, because a lot of people don't know how much work goes into a really good ranch horse. They work so hard. They do so many things. They're really, really an amazing horse. A good ranch horse is worth so much money. Most cowboys would never sell their horse because they can't replace their good ranch horse. They put so much time, and their horse is exactly how they want it. Their horse knows its job. Again, my background with horses comes from ranching and packing. And so, like, this would be desensitizing him to the rope. Old timers it kind of would have been like a variation of sacking your horse out back in the old days. They're kind of the same. They've taken them and tweaked them a little bit and changed the name on them. Kind of like flexing your horse is pretty much the same thing as, the old timers would say you got to snub that colt up. They're similar. They've just been tweaked a little bit, and now they have a different name to them. No, I'm not saying that I, sack my horse out where you think you tie him up and you hit them with a gunny sack until they quit reacting. I don't do that, but I also don't run my horse around in a circle till it's, frothy and sweating to get it to not react to it either. So you can go either way with them. You can be abusive with either way of doing it. It's X amount of it is the method, and X amount of it is the handler. So I'm just going to keep swinging the rope around him, walking around. I'm going to go both ways, because what you do on one side, you must do on the other. They don't learn from you just doing it on the side you get on and think he's going to be okay with it on his opposite side. Same with front feet, back feet. You have to do the exercise with their front and their back feet. If you don't ever expose your horse to having its back feet in a restraint, but you hobble them, it's not always going to be, well, they instantly learn their back feet are restrained now because their front feet were. Another example of that is handling their feet. I see a lot of people just only focus on the front feet, and they don't ever want to pick up the back feet because they're afraid of the horse's butt, and so their horse never has experience with its back feet being handled, and they assume because they did the front that the back feet are going to be the exact same as the front, and that's not how it works. Creaker tries really hard for me. I'm very happy with how he does in this. He has a lot of trust in me, and so when I do things with him, I try really hard, and all my horses, to not break that trust. I want to make sure that he has more confidence in my leadership at the end of each little lesson that we do. Thanks for everybody who watches my videos. There's some people who don't like them, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to train a horse.